My name is Steve Moore. I'm the president and CEO of Western Advantage. We're a small business that has been primarily focused on doing government contracting work for the U.S. government. We've got about 1,000 employees and subcontractors. We do primarily environmental remediation, cleanup, and facility operations type work. And we literally are kind of coast to coast. We have offices in every time zone and have been focused primarily on the major DOE sites throughout the complex.
We are a civil structural architectural contractor as well as a plumbing and piping contractor.
We deliver petroleum products, gasoline and diesel, heating oil. We are into the propane business.
We have worked a lot with all the resources out of the A plant. There were a lot of needs that the plant had for a lot of the things that they were trying to do. We were able to meet those.
With us being as diversified as we are in different businesses, we've been an approved vendor way back when the gaseous diffusion plant was operating up to now with Fluor B&W.
Ever since I've been involved in this, the plant has been involved in what we do. There's just a wonderful group of people. Pike County has a wonderful community, and the plant reflects that.
Well, we've done a lot of work out there. We supply them Napa parts. We've done crane work. We've hauled equipment. You just name it. We've done a little bit of everything over the last 50 years. And, you know, they're good people to work for.
This site provides good paying jobs, which are really essential to the lifeblood of the economic activity for our communities in the region, really.
It's a huge plus to the area. If our guys are employed there and they're getting a paycheck and they're spending their money locally, it's a trickle down that's just an enormous benefit to the area surrounding the plant.
Our company is committed to what's going on in the plant. We have 4 drivers that are certified to get into the plant. We've purchased equipment. We have inventory on site that when the plant needs something, we can react and get it to them on a timely basis. And if that goes away, we've got some investment that we're not going to be able to recoup the money that is taken to get to that point.
The funding for the D&D, for instance, we've seen it in our business. I'm sitting in the warehouse now that we've made room for because of some of the contracts that we were under contract with, and we made room, we made provisions, we did things, and then the funding kind of went away. And so we've had to shift gears and go into another phase of an operation to recoup and to redo.
First, it's very difficult to plan when it's hard to know from month to month sometimes if the plant will be funded fully or not. And so for us, the issue is being able to plan our work accordingly, being able to assure workers that their jobs are going to be intact for the next 3 or 4 or 6 months. So just the uncertainty provides really an atmosphere that makes it difficult for us either to retain current employees or, in the case as we have right now, attracting new employees.
You can't plan on anything positive, and it needs to even out somehow. I think if it would, you see a lot more impact on small business in this area. But the way it is, it's like, oh, there's so much paperwork, and for what? They'll pull the money in 6 months.
Every time we get a front page of the newspaper that says, we're going to have layoffs, it doesn't help our community. I mean, that in its own right give people the opportunity to be down a little bit and maybe make decisions of growth that they would like to make, because that's what the community is, the communications that's out there. Look out, I better be careful.
It creates a lot of uncertainty. It's a drain on confidence. People aren't going to make a major purchase if they're unsure that they're going to have a livelihood tomorrow or next month or next year. It can have a lot of negative impact.
I think that our Pike County community gets very worried about losing the plant. Because a lot of people have been here now since the 50s. It's been, in the 50s we were a really small community, and then when everybody came in for the plant, it grew in leaps and bounds. And if everybody leaves, not in addition to losing all of our friends and people we've met over the years, our community suffers.
I think one of the most valuable things about having a good employment facility in our location is it brings a lot of talented people to the community. And they touch so many other pieces of our community, from boards to civic events and so forth.
You know, it's drawn a lot of talented, skilled people into this area over the years who have become instrumental in leadership and involvement in civic and area government. It's not just the monetary aspect that this plant brings, it's people.
As the budgets go up and down, and as it's taken away from the plant, those people may not be here. They'll have to move on to other locations, and that would be a huge loss to that. The budget and the continuation of the decommissioning of the plant is imperative for all of us.
People are wonderful. We don't want to lose them. We don't want to lose the plant. The plant has just been so important to what we do.
If the plant was not funded, this area would die.
It would just be, I think it'd just be awful if we'd lose them. I don't know how you describe it.
If we lose this plant and let's say 1,000, 1,215, whatever the number is, in a small workforce anyway, it's going to have huge negative impact. Not just financially, but just think of the confidence that, is lost within a community when you lose, a major employer.
And it's really something that we've seen more, unfortunately, here at this site than we have a lot of other sites. And it really does, it affects things in two ways. It obviously affects the ability to execute the work. But the other thing that it affects that people don't give enough credit to is it quite frankly affects the morale of the people in the community. It's one of those things where you say, so why are we always the last one to get funded and the first one to get something deducted?
For a project to be successful, it requires a little bit of momentum, in my way of thinking. And when the funding is such, that it's kind of year to year, and it's cyclical and it kind of changes, it prevents the project from gaining any sort of traction or momentum.
People need to understand that creating momentum, there really is something to that, and the ability to continue to have stable funding allows you to create that momentum.
The fact that it is such an important component of our community, I think is critical that we keep the funding in place.
The decontamination and decommissioning of that plant was promised us by the feds. They've got an obligation and a responsibility to carry through with that obligation.
This is a site in a community. I've worked at pretty much all the DOE sites, and each one of them has its own personality and own dynamic. And this one is no different and very unique. What is unique about this site is there is a work ethic and a commitment to the area and the community that really is different here. This place really is committed to each other and the future and helping each other. And I think the real opportunity from this site is this becomes a catalyst to kind of rally people together and let them be successful and not have to move away and not see their kids have to move away. People are here for a reason.
I think if it were stable, where everyone could plan, where everyone could look at each other and shake hands like we do in Southern Ohio and say, this is what we're going to do, and we could all get it done.
The site brings so much opportunity and hope to these people, and we need your blessing on them.
We need some long-term consistent growth, something that we know over time. It doesn't have to be huge in one day, but something that we know that we have some consistency moving forward to develop the opportunity here in our community at the plant site.
My business relies on the PORTS D&D Project.
My employees rely on the PORTS D&D Project.
My community relies on the PORTS D&D Project.
And the Department of Energy
Relies
relies
on
on
us.
us.